you? Happy new moon. Today, just a few hours ago, about an hour and a half ago, there was the new moon in Aries at 4 degrees 12 minutes. So I thought I would take a look at the energy for this moon for all of us. Now, a couple things to look at. First, I'm going to pull 3 advice cards for us, face down, put them at the front of the reading there for the end. The first is that this new moon is conjunct Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. And in order to heal something, you have to be able to see it, right? So, you go to the doctor and you get a diagnosis for something, and then you make a plan to get rid of it. And you can't heal something that has not been seen and identified. So that obviously makes a lot of sense if we consider what's going on right now, right? And it's not even so much like the opportunity for healing that I think is coming up here. And again, new moon is for new beginnings, new ways of seeing things, bringing new energy, things that grow, because now the moon will start to get bigger. So on a societal level, it may start to bring healing to people who have been afflicted or affected by this virus. It's also very much bubbling up a lot of the societal ills that we know exist, but maybe we were just kind of like hoping that they would deal with themselves or go away or something like that. And what it's saying now is that ability to heal is getting a whole new dose of energy from the universe. A whole bunch, both of the luminaries, the 2 luminaries are focused on this Chiron. It is also, with Saturn now in Aquarius, sorry, I'm going to keep shuffling. With Saturn in Aquarius, it's a wide sextile, but let's say it counts. It's 4 degrees different. Saturn is about, excuse me, restructuring, right? Fixing the cornerstones, fixing the word's only coming to me in Italian, but the structures, the things that hold up everything that we do. Aquarius is hopes, wishes, but it's also the collective, right? And it's the benefit and the air. It's an Uranus is the ruler of the skies, and so the new moon is sextile, a wide sextile to that Saturn. So really, what it says to me is there is a sort of unique opportunity here to heal the collective, to heal the air. And if we think about the Sabian symbol for the degree of the new moon, the image is the triangle with wings. Now, a triangle in Greek alphabet is delta. Delta is change. It's also the logo. The logo, literally, the triangle with the wings is the logo for Delta Airlines. And it talks about ascension and moving higher and flying to a different level. So this change, this triangle of change with wings, starting to sprout and elevate, right? Which is very much the sort of Aquarian image, sacred geometry with that triangle there. So it's an optimistic new moon, I would say, despite the absolute and total shit show that is the United States right now. And it breaks my heart because obviously I still have family there. I think we have to focus on, and this came up in a reading a couple of weeks ago, it's not someone else's job to heal, right? Like, obviously we can't make the laws of the United States, or we can't make the laws of our country, but we are all very operative, and as Aries, very groundbreaking in our own communities. And so there is healing, it's a domino. There is healing that each one of us can do in our own lives, first to heal ourselves, because very much like the mask on the airplane, you have to be able to save yourself before you can save others. So healing in ourselves, but also putting out, once we heal ourselves, that's positive energy that we put out into the system or into the universe. So healing ourselves, healing our family units, healing our workplace, healing our relationships, our friends, our family, and Aquarius is your tribe. So this, to me, particularly given that it's coming up on this in Aries, is, and we got that reading the other week, it's, hey Aries, you leaders of the zodiac, the first sign, it's gonna be a little bit up to you to kick this shit off by working on healing within your own tribe, right? Take your tribe. Don't focus on big giant boulders that we can't move, right? We cannot change policies one at a time. But if we focus on our tribe, that and much like a virus, you touch one person, they touch another person, that, and that goes on and on and on. That positive contagion is just as possible as any other contagion. So I think this is very much a call to arms and a waking up, particularly for Aries, or people who have placements at 4 degrees Aries. I have my son. Although my birthday's tomorrow, but my son's at 440 something, so counts but doesn't count. Anyway, I've been working on trying to heal my tribe also. That's what my project is about. But I extend this message to all of you also. And if you are in lockdown, or if you have been given and I'm going to actually call it a gift of quarantine, because in the time that we've been in quarantine, I've never eaten so healthy, or in a while haven't eaten so healthy. We're exercising every day. We spend a ton of really valuable quality time. I'm having conversations with people, deep conversations that before time didn't allow. I'm talking to people that I haven't spoken to in years. Take this opportunity to ask, in the old JFK style, not what your country can do for you, because what we've learned from all of the governments is that they're useless, but what you can do for your tribe, right? So if you were able to make a difference in the people around you, what would you do? And so now I'll shut up and deal with the cards, but I really feel like that's the opportunity that's on the table right now. Now, let me shush and let's get the energy. Can we get the energy for Aries, please, for this new moon today, March 24th. Oh, one more announcement. Sorry. If you haven't given me your birthday, I'm going to use the other post. I'd actually meant to do it in a whole different way, but it's not what I say, it's what people understand. So since it seems that people are putting their birthdays on that post, put yours there, and on that day, I will pull your 4 cards as planned. Going forward, energy, please, for Aries. Thank you. Okay, remember I talked about healing? So the story here is this woman is a princess, but she doesn't care about being a princess. She's actually really passionate about healing others. So even though it's not her station, right, because princess should be sitting on a throne somewhere, theoretically, she picks up a book and starts reading to the elderly because that's what she's passionate about. And she brings her passion to these people in the hope that it will be contagious to them, that it will wake up their passions. So this is very much in line, and Aries passion, this is us. So even if healing is simply, hello from Zoe, even if healing is simply sharing what you're passionate about with someone else in the event that they can get passionate about it, and that's how they heal. This is really the energy that's going on right now. Now, let's look at the challenges. Can I get the challenges this new moon brings, please? Challenges from the new moon at Aries. Actually, I'm going to take that last one there. There we go. Maturity. This is the Ace of Pentacles, okay? So this is the wisdom, the intelligence, and the ability to materialize these things, to make this healing, this growth. You see all that, the flowers blooming and the head and it coming into the body. How to materialize your passionate energy, your healing energy, the flowers that grow in your mind. How do you make those come to life in real life, right? And that's that Saturn sextile also, because Saturn is giving a boost to anything that's going to bring new light, bring in new structures of healing the collective. Let's do this. Why is it all happening? Why is this energy happening? Like that. Okay. This actually came upside down. I'll read both. The card is slow and steady, right? And it's a little snail who, even though they have wings, obviously is the weight of the material. The weight of the material slows down how fast you can fly, right? And that's also kind of interesting considering this card. Excuse me. Because maybe the reason we give up sometimes is because it doesn't move so fast. We love to do new things, but we're not the best at staying power. And so what this says is that it's not really a time to fly right now. It's a time to move because the material weighs more than the air. So it's not the speed of the idea, it's the putting it into place slowly and surely so that it moves forward, right? So if you have ideas, and then I'll read the opposite here. If you have ideas that you're like, oh, but it's going to take too long, or that would take too long, that's exactly what this is saying, that this is a time, since it's big change and since it's a matter of that triangle with wings ascending, the delta of change ascending to a new level, that doesn't happen quickly. It happens slowly. And this is a 3 also for March. Now let's look. Okay. And here's what the reverse says. So the reverse says pushing things forward impulsively will not only prevent success, but potentially cause more trouble than you're prepared to handle. Moving too quickly will only yield unripe fruit with a bitter taste. Slow down, breathe, meditate. You're not a human doing, you are a human being. Just be. Everything will work out if you can apply the brakes and become more aware of what's happening in this moment. Right? And that was kind of like what I said, like take advantage of this quarantine moment to really get in touch with yourself, get in touch with your passions. What can you do? What flowers can you plant? What books can you read? Who's your audience? What change do you want to bring to the collective, even if it's something that's very slow in its ability to grow and spread, right? To not necessarily be daunted by not seeing super results immediately. Sometimes things take time. Sometimes they have to go into a first phase and then a second phase. But it is definitely about, especially with this Ace of Pentacles here, it's definitely about beginning, right? And finding what your change is, how the change that's going to bring you to another level and bring you to see life on another level, and perhaps shine for others to see as you move up in your own existence. Okay, so calm focus on the now. Breathing in the beauty of your surroundings will restore your power to consciously co-create your world. All fruits ripen in their own time, which is interesting because that talks to this one also, about flowers bloom when they're supposed to bloom. They can't bloom because you force it into. So if you're feeling a little bit discouraged because you're not seeing things move as quickly as you would like, this is saying it's not the time. Things will evolve as they need to evolve. But don't give up, and let your passion, like, also kind of don't be driven by results at this moment. It's like, oh, well, I don't see her getting any better, so I'm not gonna do it. Be driven, let this motor here that moves you forward, that projects you into the future, be the passion, right? So the clue of how you can heal your tribe, how you can heal yourself, is located in the things that you are passionate about, the things that you would do whether you were successful or not to, right? Those are your gifts, and those are the things that you can share with other people. Now, I get 3 cards here. Can I get 3 cards for the story of this new moon? What's the story of this new moon? I think it gave me exactly the cards. Okay. All right, so I'll read them this way. All right, so 7 of Pentacles, right? Waiting for something to show results. Wheel of Fortune. Things turning around. Deciding, making decisions, understanding what the options are, taking a look. And there's that world in that hand, right? Saying like, how can I bring this passion to the rest of the world, kind of thing. And then here it is, from the Ace of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles. And this also kind of reminds me, the body language is the same there, right? That what is going to make this Ace of Pentacles, what's going to bring you that pentacle, is by following the things that you are making a mess, passionate about, right? And that's how not only do you heal yourself, but you heal those around you. When you can share those passions with others, and not only does it turn the wheel, right? It brings that material satisfaction that we think we need, right? So there's definitely, these are both waiting cards, right? They're not fast movement. There's the 7 of Pentacles that examines exactly what it's been sowing, or what can it do, or what am I going to do with all these crops? And it's interesting because you have a 1, a 7, and then the Queen. So there's definitely a growth of the Pentacles in this process. Right now it's sort of assessing. There's a moment of evaluation, and then a moment of choice, right? How can I take this thing and bring it to the world? And it may be some project that you've been working on that you're trying to figure out how to launch right now, and how to, how to take it from something that's maybe in your backyard to something that's actually visible to the rest of the world. And there's that Wheel of Fortune that's right in the middle as the turning point. And then we land here with the Queen. So I would say, for anyone who's with that forever question, what am I supposed to do with my life? Answers, stick with your passion. If you have a passion project that you've been working on that seems to be not giving you the fruit, again, fruits, trees, everything blossoms in its time. The question is, I believe at the root here, is this thing that I've been working on, how can I make it bigger, right? Because this is in the sky. So how can I give it that delta of change and make it into a change triangle with wings so that it flies up to another level? And this is maybe the question that you're looking at right now. And it seems to me that the answer here is the growth, to go from the 1 to the 7 to the Queen, it's in the earth, right? he's got his passion, he's got these two things, he's trying to figure out what to do with them, but he's got the world in his hand. And so the question to me is really, how do I make this passion, this thing that I've been working on, this tree that I've planted, helpful to the rest of the universe or to the rest of the world? How can I make it be something that will help others grow in abundance, or help others heal, or that can have a meaningful, it can help reflect other people's passions, right? So the question is, and it seems to me to be a very reflective, especially in these cards here, very reflective. You have 3 reflective characters, right? Nobody's really moving, they're all thinking. Then now is kind of the time to assess, okay, when I can get out of my apartment, what do I do? How do I get this wheel turning? And to me, the answer is really in your ability to bring your passions to others, either at the service of, with the point of healing, or at least in terms of sharing and reflecting, because that expansion of you with your positive energy enriches not only yourself but others. And so that's how we kind of heal this planet, right? So that's the questions that are going on right now. Let me get an advice card and then we'll look at these 3 here. I haven't used this deck in a while. I was missing it. Okay, so interesting. I'll get another one because I didn't ask, but this one says why. So yes, so there is, and going to the book. Oh, and that book has wings. Amazing. So it's like there's the delta, the triangle with the wings, and you're asking yourself, how do I make this change? How do I make this change that's going to help me to level up, or that whatever it is to move this change to another level? How can I get to another level? And so it's a clear time of seeking answers of change and of healing and of improvement. And this is a 4, you know. So we have 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. That one went off. 10. So you may be asking yourself some questions. Let's get another one. What advice can we give to Aries for this new moon? What advice for this new moon? Okay, and there's also a 3, and this talks about being neither here nor there. So in the middle, very much like this, right? I'm not what I used to be. I'm not what I am yet. You know, Britney Spears, not a girl, still not a woman. So let me read this in its protection message, since that's what it came up as. Okay. In your work, sometimes you try things that have worked for others, hoping that you too will be successful. When this symbol appears, interesting, it reminds you that sometimes the path to your prosperity is a gamble. Win or lose, you can learn much from what comes of your wager. It's a good time to bet on your skills and talents in new and different arenas. Remember, that's your passions. Remain curious, and with the right combination of timing and luck, you will stumble upon something golden that will be unlike anything you've known before. Oh, that's a prosperity message. Sorry. There's the protection one. But obviously, if I mess that up, that's because I was supposed to read that. Let me add this. Be mindful of your expectations. This is not a time for guarantees, right? And that's what this slow and steady one said. Things will not go exactly as you plan or dictate. Let go and see what Spirit has in store. What takes hold in your life will be better than you can imagine. So interesting. So yes, so this says very clearly that this new moon is a time for less doing, seems to me, and a lot more asking, reflecting, deciding, analyzing. Also, like, what do I do with these? Maybe I need to cut out these 6 pentacles and just keep the 1, right? So it's a time of questioning. What am I passionate about? What do I want to share with the world? What passions do I want to materialize or bring forth? Very much like this 7 here. How can I connect with a larger universe, connect with my tribe, through these passions or through these things that I'm working on, things that I hold dear? And how do I prosper in doing so? And so it says to me, sort of like, take your foot off the brakes for a second in terms of trying to push something into being, and listen. And here's that book with the wings again. I feel like answers may come from unexpected places. That this might not be a time for looking for answers in all the usual places, but it might be a time to consult new books, new advisors, new sources, right? And ask different questions than the ones that you've been asking so far. So perhaps not necessarily, what have I grown? When is this gonna happen? But what more can I do with this, right? If it doesn't turn out the way I want it to be, what would I do anyway, even if I knew that it may or may not be successful, right? Like, what are the passions that will allow me? Okay, so we always say in work, like, the people who work for money always end up being the ones who are the most disappointed, because then you end up becoming a slave to the work, right? Because you're attached to the money. The people that work for passion, it's never a job because it's fun to do, right? And when you do something that you love and that you would do anyway, that embodies all of the gifts and the talents that you have, perhaps some of which are undiscovered or are still in the process of coming out, you bring a different energy to what you produce, and you infuse what you make with a completely different energy, because it's done with a sort of divine, passionate, Aryan, no, that's not the right word, but Aries power. And that power, when you infuse what you do with your Aries power, you transfer it to other people, which empowers them, right? So you take a bit of your energy and your power and you bring it to the rest of the world. And so this is a very sort of specific message, particularly under this healing moon, of what passion, and there's that book again, right? Maybe you've always wanted to write, maybe you want to be a voiceover person, maybe you want to read to elderly or people in need or blind, but what's your passion, and where are you looking for the answers, right? And it might be the answer may be different than what you thought it was going to be. And I think that's also what this Wheel of Fortune is. Like, you might have thought it was one thing, but it's actually because of this spin of the Wheel of Fortune. And this may be that because, I know there's a lot of people who've been laid off in the United States and are in sort of a precarious position right now, and it's almost like a reboot, right? If you get kicked out of the old system, well, what do I want to do going forward, right? So is there something else that can be done in the future that brings more of you into the world, right? As a healing energetic presence, is there something else that you can do with what you've been planting, with what you've been working on, that can bring more sense of stability, sense of security, and sense of abundance? Okay, I'm going to stop there because otherwise I'll just go on for hours. Let's start reading these. Okay, so if you picked this one, your card is the Sacred Mountain. Let me read that for you. I think this is another one of the books. Oh, it's alphabetical, thank God. All right, so funny. The Sacred Mountain is: be still and take the time to move into the silent place within yourself. Locate your internal source of power, meditate, wait. Do not move forward until it feels right. Surrender to stillness. Do not take action. If you observe rather than react, you claim your power. Your native spirit wants you to know, from the vantage point of the sacred mountain, your power grows. In silence, you'll find your sacred witness. It is the dwelling place of your soul. In peace, seek and discover your truth. Love it. So it's very in line. Move past the bustle and clutter of life into sweet quietude. If you're in pain, don't lash out. Go into it until you find the source so that it can be healed. Resist the temptation to indulge in feelings of stress, urgency, and emergency. And that's like what's going on around us. Your power is born in silence. This peace gives birth to your serenity. Seek solitude to listen to the voice of your higher self and awaken your inner wisdom. Lovely. Okay, let's read this one. This is the Song of the Wild. Let's read that. Sorry, you can't really see these. Sorry, like obsessive card. I'm actually not obsessive, but about touching things like this. New horizons await you. You're ready to savor the wonders of the world. Take some risks. So there's that risk again. Answer the call of the wild. Step out of your comfort zone. Live passionately. Take steps in the direction of freedom. Expand beyond your limitation and boundaries. Maybe it's time to take a new journey or do something new and exciting. Your native spirit wants you to know that you are entering a period of expansion and going beyond your self-imposed limitations. If you feel hesitant, even if you feel hesitant, this is the time to try something new and do things in a different way. You might visit far-off lands, maybe in a while, maybe digitally, or wild. Without it, life can become lackluster and stagnant. There's a vast, new, and wondrous vista just around the corner, but you'll never see it if you don't venture out. Okay, so for those of you who like have your passion, but you're like, this is saying that when the time is right, because obviously it's not this second, that you're going to have to take a leap of faith and move forward. And then this is the Spirit Keeper of the East. God, they were like right after each other. Amazing. New beginnings. A fresh cycle is occurring in your life. Wipe the slate clean. It's now time to release the old and start again. No matter what has happened in the past, it doesn't need to repeat in your future. Your native spirit wants you to know, in native traditions, the directions are honored. And the East is, the rising sign. So it's believed that every direction has an associated spirit that can be called upon. In the great cycle of life, the East is the place of the rising sun. It's also associated with the planting seeds in the springtime, birth, the waxing moon, and new beginnings. Pulling this card means that this is the close of one cycle and the beginning of another. That's that earth or the wheel turning. Although it's often difficult to release familiar routines, situations, or relationships when they no longer empower you, your native spirit asks that you not cling to the old, but set sail into new waters. Face your fear and allow yourself to stretch in a new direction. Wonderful opportunities will be born in your life. All right, cool. So sounds like some exciting movement. Follow your passions. Don't get freaked out because things aren't moving as quickly as you'd like. Ask new questions, look for new answers. How can you use your passion to help heal what's going on in the world, even if it's your own world? Yeah, and that's it. All right, awesome. Thanks for watching, and I will see you at the next reading. Take care.